Hi kids, and welcome to another adventure with me, Uncle Alf, where today we're back in my kitchen because we are going to be making my favourite cake, banana bread. And it is really simple to make. So I'm going to tell you what you need to get from your kitchen cupboards and your fridge so we're ready to bake. You're going to need to get a big mixing bowl, a spoon to stir it all together with, a baking tin that we can pour our mixture in and put in the oven, a fork and a plate so that we can mush our banana down, some weighing scales so that we can make sure we measure out all the correct ingredients. You're going to need 140 grams of sugar, 140 grams of butter, 2 eggs, 140 grams of flour, and the most important part, because without this it wouldn't be banana bread, we need 2 bananas. Now most people say that you should be using really yellow bananas for banana bread, but I think it's better to use the ones that are going slightly brown because they're easier to mash up. The first thing that we have to do is wash our hands like we do any time that we do any form of food preparation, because if someone else is going to be eating the food, we need to make sure that our hands are nice and clean. Once you've cleaned your hands, it's time to ask Mummy or Daddy to turn the oven on for us. We need them to do it because it's going to get very hot and I don't want you to risk burning yourself. So we're going to turn the oven to 160 degrees. The third step, and the first one that we're doing using food, is to peel our bananas. And then we're going to put the banana onto our pink plate. We're then going to take our fork, which is green, and mash our bananas up. There. So there is one pink plate filled with our mashed up banana. So we're going to put that to one side. We're then going to take our mixing bowl, which is orange, and the first step is to get our butter, 140 grams, that's 140, and we're going to plop that into the bowl like this. We're then going to take our sugar and pour it on top of the butter. And then comes the tricky part. We're going to have to use those muscles again and mix our butter together with the sugar. Just keep mixing and mixing. You might need to get some help with this one. We'll get our spoon to get it all off of Mr. Piggy. There. So I've finished mixing the butter and the sugar together, and it looks a bit like ice cream. But it definitely doesn't smell like ice cream. So we'll put that to one side. And now we need to take our 2 eggs, 1, 2, pop them down there. And then get yourself a little beaker. This one is yellow. And we're going to crack the eggs and pour them into the beaker. And be really careful that you don't get any of the eggshell into the beaker. And then put our eggshells into the food waste bin, and then take our pink fork and we're just going to whisk that around. Give it a big stir. After this your muscles are going to be really big. And then we're going to take our whisked up eggs and pour them into the butter and sugar mixture. Just like that. Now we're going to put our yellow beaker to the side because we've finished with that, and then pick up Mr. Piggy again and start mixing the eggs in. So now that the eggs have been mixed in with the butter and sugar, it looks a bit like scrambled egg. So we'll pop that there, and then we're going to take our banana that we've already mushed up, and we're just going to drop that into the mixture. Put that to one side. And then take up Mr. Piggy again and mix all the banana in. And this way all the banana is going to be all throughout the mixture and not just in one dollop in the middle. Now. So that's looking really, I'd say nice, but it doesn't look nice in there. But now comes the important part. We're going to put our flour in, and the flour is what's going to make it rise up in the oven to make it a proper cake. So put in a little bit of the flour like this. Don't put it all in, just a small amount. And then we're going to mix that around. And be careful, because if you're mixing really, really fast, the flour's going to go everywhere. And then take the rest of the flour and pour that in. And again, be careful, because if we're mixing really fast, it's all going to go over the side. And now we take the final bit of flour from our blue bowl and we'll pour it in. And stir it all around. Keep stirring and stirring. Really get those muscles working. And there, we've got it, our mixture. So inside there, we've got 2 eggs, some butter, some flour, some sugar, and some bananas. It smells really good. So we'll pop that down there. And now, we need to get our baking tin and pop it down there. And for this, we're gonna have to cover the inside in butter. And that way, when the cake's inside the oven, it won't stick to the side. So once it's finished cooking, it'll be easy to get out of the tin. So I've just got some tissue from the side, puts a little bit of butter on there, and then I'm just going to spread it all around my tin. Make sure you cover every bit of the tin, all the corners, all the sides. Now that's looking like it's completely covered, so we'll put that back there, put our greasy buttery tissue in the bin. And now we're going to take our mixture and pour it into our baking tin. And now it's time to put it in the oven. So it's time to ask Mummy or Daddy to help us put on their oven gloves or get a tea towel so we can put it into the oven, which should now be really, really hot. So we're going to leave our tin in there for about 20 to 25 minutes, which gives us enough time to do one of my favourite things in the kitchen, the washing up. So I've just finished the washing up and there are still 10 minutes on the timer. So I guess that means it's time for activity time. In front of me I've got everything that we use to make our banana bread. So, what different colours can you see? To make our banana bread, we needed 160 grams of butter, flour and sugar. What's the biggest number that you can count to? In our baking today, we used bananas. But what other fruits do you keep in your fruit bowl? So we made our cake, we put it in the oven, we did the washing up, we had activity time, but now all we need to do is wait for the oven to beep, because then it'll be time for the cake to be ready. It's like it heard me. It's beeping, which means that the cake is ready. So we're gonna have to ask Mummy or Daddy if they can get their oven gloves or a tea towel and go and get it out of the oven for us, because it's gonna be really, really hot, so be careful. Doesn't that look yummy? Well, I'm just going to have to wait for that to cool down now before I can cut myself a slice and taste it. But it smells delicious. So thanks for baking along with me today, guys, and I will see you tomorrow when we will be making some really fun Easter crafts. So I'll see you then. Bye bye.